Good.
Hi, we're Steve and Pip, and we live in Elmstead Market. And we love opening our home to others, to share meals together. And sort of at the foundation of what we do is the Alpha course with people.
So yeah, over the last year, I've done a lot of reading with Pete Gray and the 24/7 prayer movement. And I've also been inspired by Roy Crown's Hope 2020, Hope Spaces, prayer spaces in community places. And it's great that Christians pray in churches, but I was excited about the idea of using prayer as a gateway for people who wouldn't normally call themselves Christians, to start up a conversation with him and become Christians. And I think everybody can pray, even if it's help. And maybe in time, they might want to do the Alpha course. Who knows? So we had a plan to run a Hope Space at Elmstead Career Club during the summer. But then the whole coronavirus lockdown happened. So anyway, I started thinking, how can we do this online? I sort of left Facebook ages ago, but have re-engaged because of the lockdown. And I was listening to a Spanish 24/7 prayer time. I didn't understand a word of it, but I knew the guy who was praying was just pouring out his heart. And I just thought, well, I could do that. So after a lot of deliberation, 3 things started up. Number 1 was the live prayer on Facebook, Sundays at 6 o'clock. The second thing was pray wherever you are, which sort of found it home on a Monday, 8 o'clock in the morning to 9 o'clock in the morning. And on Facebook, there's a thing called Steve and Pip's Hope page. The live prayer. I've changed the format over the coronavirus period, and I think I've done 12 of them now. And I just really want to pray from the heart, and quoting Pete Gregg, like a man falling down the stairs. And it's interesting to see who turns up. Lots of Christian friends have turned up, but also some people I know who wouldn't call themselves Christians. This is what I'm really excited about. Some sign in and let me know they're there, and others watch for a few seconds maybe, or maybe for the full 20 minutes. I just don't know. I think the one of the ones recently had about 107 views, so it's interesting to see what's happening. Some people are with you, and some people watch the recording later, and some people request prayer during the live prayer, which I try to respond to, which I always do, but in some ways I wish they prefer, and I prefer them to just do a private message for specific prayer, just purely from a safeguarding point of view. The second thing, pray wherever you are. I haven't done it for the last couple of weeks. It's not as popular. And I know I need to post more things to keep it alive and going, but I'm aware that somehow I've got a bit of a Facebook reputation for praying. So some of the things that have happened with my nearly Christian friends. First of all, there was contacted by an ex-colleague of mine who just wanted me to pray for, not for her, but for her nan and her parents. The nan is quite elderly, so it's great to be able to pray for her. Secondly, there was somebody who did the Alpha course with us before, never really connected with God, but he got back in touch with me, and he's wanted me to marry him and his new partner. What a great opportunity. And the other one is not necessarily from the prayer activity, but that we've started doing Alpha online using WhatsApp and Zoom. And Pip's going to say more about that now.
Yeah, initially I thought, we're used to opening our home to let people eat meals, and then we go into the lounge and have Alpha that way. And when I thought, oh no, we're not going to be able to do that anymore, obviously with lockdown. So the thought of Alpha online, I thought, no, that is not going to work. That's not going to work at all. But completely the opposite has happened. So we're doing Alpha online with a couple, and 3 weeks ago, they both gave their life to Jesus. It was incredible, absolutely incredible. So all my fears about it not working were put away. So that's such an encouragement to us. So we're doing Alpha online, which has been brilliant. We are also doing Alpha in our garden. So when Boris said that we could meet in our back gardens, socially distanced, of course, again, I thought we're never going to be able to do it. But again, Steve came up with it and he sorted it all out. So we're doing Alpha in our back garden. And on Sunday, the second session, one of the guys gave his life to Jesus in our back garden. Incredible, absolutely incredible. So in the space of sort of 3 weeks, we've got 3 people who've given their life to Jesus. So 2 different ways of doing Alpha since lockdown began. We're continuing with our other groups that before lockdown were meeting with us in our home, but of course we're doing it via Zoom. So our Alpha Plus group that meets on a Thursday, we've been doing Alpha with them, not Alpha, we've been doing
Questions.
our questions, that's right, questions about life. So they wanted, after they'd done the course, they wanted to explore the Christians' sort of response to issues such as gender, abortion, racism, and also the Trinity. We looked at the Trinity and we used the film The Shack to do that. So obviously they watched The Shack on their own, and then we came and we discussed it via Zoom. We've also got our life group continuing, which again we've met during the day at some points in lockdown because it suited people because they're obviously working from home. But now we're back to meeting in the evenings, and again we've done various courses with them. We started doing the Pete Greg 24/7 course that Steve was talking about, and amazingly from that, a few weeks ago we did a whole day of prayer. So each of us took an hour during the day, and then we met in the evening to talk about what God had said to us. So that was really encouraging. We also had a quiz night, which again I was like, oh no, not a quiz night. But it was so brilliant. And again, Steve said, why don't we ask a couple of people to give their faith stories, which they did. And then from that, one of the ladies that's part of our group, her daughter who came to the quiz night said, Mum, what's your faith story then? So she was then able to share her faith story with her daughter for the first time. So yeah, God's working in lots of different ways through lockdown via Zoom. You know, we may not be opening our home to people, but we're still connecting with people. So that's a real encouragement.
So yeah, what's next? And to finish off with is as we move out of lockdown, I think our next challenge is to create a hope space in our garden or out on the front of our house. There's a lovely patch of grass. Is do something there, and that might happen before or as the cricket club opens, but hopefully do something like that in that space. Thanks very much, guys. Talk to you soon. Bye.